Hi guys, Scrapaletta here, and I just want to share with you a new project that's a very little mini that I thought was going to take me a minimal amount of time to do, but which actually in reality took me actually almost a whole week. And I think the more I got into it, the more I started enjoying it. Recognize this? Everybody has them. It's a toilet paper roll, and that's what my mini was about. It's a toilet paper mini album. And the best thing about this was I didn't buy anything to make this album. Everything that I used in this little album I made from things that were in my stash. And that was one of my biggest goals. Not to buy a single thing, but just use stuff that was in my stash already. So I want to share with you some of the little techniques I did in making this, and just share with you my album. On the front of the album, the title is See the Beauty All Around. See the Beauty All Around. The flowers came from the dollar store. They were dollar store and Prima flowers. I sprayed them with Heidi Swap Color Shine, the mustard, and the peach, and then I inked over them with just around the edges with Vintage Photo by Tim Holtz. And I used Vintage Photo by Tim Holtz throughout this whole book. The paper that is back here was actually a peach color. It was too bright. I went over it with the Vintage Photo. On the sides, the paper on the side, this is the side, and this is the back of my little album. I went over all of these with Vintage Photo to kind of bring down the color some. These are stickles that are on here. The bling that I used on here is by Prima. It was Fairy Rhymes. I don't think that's very old, but going back to the front, let's see, this is just some lace I had in my stash. This is a stick pin that I made myself just from, I don't have very many beads, but I do try to have just one or two and a lot of the colors that I use, so I made this little stick pin on here. The butterfly was actually a butterfly from Mariposa, and what I did was I took rock candy stickles and I put it all over the butterfly, and it hardened, it hardened it just so it would stay up. And I also put rock candy stickles on the roses. I don't know if you can see them with the glitter. There we go. Very pretty. It made it really pretty, and I really like that. So let's take a look at the inside, and I can show you some of the things I did on the inside of my album. When you open it up, on this side, I've got tons and tons of tags in here. And these are all tags that I cut using either my Spellbinders dies or my Big Shot dies, or some, I guess that's what you call them, a Sizzix dies, excuse me. This is just a little tag, and I used Heidi Swap's, they don't have a name, her stamps. They just had a number, and the number was 17. So I used Heidi Swap stamps throughout this, number 17. This one says Adventure. And I left them kind of plain on the back, except for maybe a stamp. This one I thought was really cute, and it says Beautiful. And that was a stamp by the Pink Stamper. And I edged it with Martha Stewart punches, and this is a Martha Stewart punch right here. This was a frame that I had in my stash, and I used on everything to get the same color. The Tim Holtz, Distress Paint, the antique bronze, I used that throughout everything, and I rubbed a little bit of it on this because this was a bright gold, and I tried to bring it down some. Here's another little tag that I made. I didn't stamp anything on the back. On this side, I'm going to give this to a friend because these are really her colors, and I'm going to put a little note in here, and I'm going to mail it to her office because she's like me and she likes to get things. Now this is just a butterfly, and it has, try to give you a close-up picture of that. It's just a butterfly, and I use stickles on that. It's a Martha Stewart punch. All the tags are basically the same, and I just kind of like rotated them. But this is what I did. This was a punch that was given to me by my friend Pocono Pam, and I just punched a hole in it and hung a tag off of it. Now this is what I want to show you. This is one of the little things that I made. This is just like I had these little butterflies in my stash, but this hook that I put on here is actually a fishing hook lure. And my girlfriend and I went to Walmart, and I was looking for things that I could use that were cheap, and they come in all different sizes, and there are these swivel fish hook things that, you know, fishermen use. And what I did was, the barrel was too long, so I just cut it off, and I just used the little hook part and hooked it right in, and it opens like a safety pin. These were actually, they come in all different sizes, and they're about $1.29 a pack, and I think you get, how many in a pack? Like you get 12 to 15 in a pack. And you know, if that was for scrapbooking, it would be a lot more. But anyway, I went over it with the bronze, antique bronze by Tim Holtz. And I also went over the little butterfly in the antique bronze, because all of these were silver. This is the inside of my tag, and then this is the back. And I used these are just 2 tags, and I used the punch to put them together, and then I used washi tape in here. Okay, that I have more Prima flowers in the peach and like a deeper peach. On this side, this is another Martha Stewart punch. More tags. This one says fabulous. No, this one says remember. Sorry. Today. This is one I made using my Spellbinders, one of my Spellbinders dies, and I just cut it open, inked the edges, and tied a bow on it. Is my next card. I alternated these colors. I used the same colors on all of my tags, but one I faced with the peach up, the other one I faced with the green up. Another butterfly tag. This one says love. This is the inside. These were really, really old. Reminds me, I didn't actually tell you the paper that I used for this. I actually used 2 4x6 stacks, I guess you would call it, or 6x6 stacks. The first one was K&Co, and it says specialty papers. There's really no name on it, and the papers in it were really, really pretty. And I did not use all of this stack. As you can see, they had some transparencies in here. This is just what I had left in this stack. It wasn't a very big stack. This is really pretty. I did not use this one yet. This one, as you can see, they had really pretty papers in there. But my main pack was this one right here, the Believe pack by Prima. Because I love Prima paper. Just to give you an idea, there's I didn't use a whole lot out of this, even though I did cover most of my book using this. It still was a lot left in this pack. So I used Believe, and I used K&Co. Okay. My next page. Oh, this is another thing I want to share with you guys. Okay. See this little rhinestone thingy right here? I was in Michael's, and they had these, and they were like $3.59 for a pack of 3 or 4 in there. Well, I had this punch in my collection that I have not, I don't think I've ever used this punch since I purchased it. And I really didn't know what to do with it until I needed something to go on here. I punched out 4 in cardstock, 4 of the circles using this punch in cardstock, and I glued them on top of each other. I went over it with the Tim Holtz antique bronze, what do you call this stuff? Antique bronze distress paint. Sorry. Antique bronze distress paint. And then I glued the rhinestones to it. And I thought it came out beautifully, and it just like added that one little touch that I needed to the page. My next page is right here, and more dollar store flowers and Prima flowers, again with the Heidi Swap Color Shine on there. This is my next tag, and it just says laugh. The inside, I have different ones of these all through the inside. There's the back. It's just a spring clip. This is just a spring clip, and it has 3 little tags behind it. I just went over this side with stickles, regular crystal stickles, and I put a flat back pearl, peach pearl in the middle. On this side, again with the Prima bling, this is just some really pretty lace. Isn't that pretty? Just some really pretty lace that I had in my stash. And this is just an old epoxy. I think I bought these when I first started scrapbooking years ago, and I still had them in my stash, and it just went with the colors that I had in this one. Okay. This is the next one. I only have 4. I only used 4 of the tissue paper rolls, so I only have 4 like whole pages, but they're front and back. This is the one for the inside, and then there's the back. And this is the last page. This is a butterfly that I got when I went to CKC this year, and I got grab bags from Mona Me Gabby. These were some of the butterflies she had in the grab bags. This is just a really pretty lace that I had already in my stash. And then this is the back page, the very last page, and it is one of those overlays that you can see through. And when I pull this out, this is a punch, Martha Stewart punch. It's a Heidi Swap butterfly stamp, and the inside is just plain with a little ribbon on it. This is another one, and I stamped that one. Oops, sorry, stamped that one again. And then this one just was really cute. And that is my little mini album. Say thank you so much for subscribing and watching my videos. I am almost at 500 subscribers. When I do get to 500 subscribers, I think we need like maybe 150 more to be at 500. When I get to 500 subscribers, I am going to be having a large giveaway. And I hope that you will join in with me in celebrating when I get there. Until then, scrap a letter, and I'll see you next time.